has the best genetics and had like a stress-free prep, and now reaps the benefits of it.
Yeah. And it's saying to women, if you're not happy with yourself, don't sit around doing nothing about it, thinking everyone else is blessed to be like that.
Exactly. So I think it's a lot more empowering. And in general, you can just feel it off a bikini competitor that they're fierce. They're kind of these are not people that can be pushed around.
Right, because of the discipline that it's taken for them to be there.
Exactly, and also like there really isn't. Well, depends on the organisation, and that's a whole different thing. Politics in bikini and bodybuilding in general is massive.
Yeah.
But like in general, if you look at my organisation, for example, very different body types can win.
Okay.
There isn't just that one look.
Dominique was saying that it's about how you have taken your body and developed it and pushed it to kind of the best it can be, and that's I think what appealed to for Dom, that you're up against anyone and everyone that wants to do it. It's not like you have to exactly you're saying be a specific body type.
No, and also in that organisation you're never compared to other people.
Wow.
That's not how the judging works.
Oh, I like that.
You're always just compared against yourself.
Right.
So how does that work? So you get scores front, side and back.
Yeah.
So your front has to complement your side and your side has to complement your back, but you're not going to be judged against any other person.
Oh, I see. So you're competing with your front, side and back and how it complements. God, that's so good. It's complex, isn't it?
So for example, if you have a very wide back, you've been able to build up your lats, then you have to have, a very round bum.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're going to be top heavy and not balanced. So you're going to be marked down on your lower body if you have that kind of imbalance going on.
Oh, okay.
But you're not going to score points because of your lats, and maybe your lats are better than someone else's.
Right.
So you're not going to score points over other people.
That's really good.
You're just going to score points over yourself.
God.
Yeah.
See that?
But that's not how every bodybuilding association does. So they will do a lot of rankings. They will do, a lot of that person's better than that person.
Yeah.
But, that's one of the reasons why I compete with Fitness Universe and not IFBB.
Right, because you just wouldn't know that unless you were involved in the world of it, really, would you? Because I guess it's got a kind of stereotyping around it, in as much as, physically fit and wonderful people competing against each other, but I guess it's for personal goals, it's how you want to present yourself.
Exactly. And also, like, going back to the question, is it objectifying or is it empowering?
Yeah.
I always say as well that the one tiny moment that you are on stage, if you consider yourself an athlete, that is like 0.2% of your year.
Yeah.
That is nothing compared to the work that you've put in and that you should put in.
Mm-hmm.
So when people say like, what is it like to be a fitness athlete? I never talk about that on the stage.
Because it's just
because
tiny.
it's such a tiny portion of it. Literally, you're there. The competition has been won and lost months before. The person who was going to win and the person who was going to come last have already secured those places months before it happened.
God.
The middle placings will change based on performance, based on judging.
That's such a healthy outlook on it, really.
That's true. That's literally how it is.
So do you feel like when you're preparing for it and when you're there doing it, you feel
fitness.
like a powerful woman?
Oh, absolutely. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
I love that. I love that. Dom was saying that you'd said that when you go out there and you feel so alive when you're presenting yourself, because it takes such confidence, and some women, I guess, will never have that kind of confidence. But if they'd invested in their bodies, they would know themselves, and they would know exactly what they're presenting, and maybe feel that aliveness.
But everyone gets nervous, though.
Yeah.
Everyone gets nervous on the day.
Of course.
Like, everyone. But I don't know if it's even such a confidence issue, really.
I think you'd be you wouldn't be human if you didn't get nervous about that sort of thing, because
absolutely.
you know, you're literally laying yourself out there, really, aren't you? And there will always be people that perhaps aren't on your side, that are in that crowd or whatever, but no. So with that in mind, when you look at models, not women that are investing their lives into fitness perhaps, but they're using their image, you know, to earn money as a model, and are posing in bikinis on Sports Illustrated, which is bought by millions of men. Do you see them as just as powerful figures? You don't?
No.
Oh, that's good that you said that.
No, because like they haven't gone through the loops.
No, I'm just taking this recording.
Yeah. They haven't been challenged mentally.
Right.
And therefore they can't have the same growth as a human being.
So they've been told they're good looking and they've gone, okay,
And that's
cool.
it. They don't have to grow spiritually at all. They don't have to grow mentally at all. And everyone who goes through a prep has to do that on some level or another. And that's why it's so different compared to just having something given to you, which is your appearance, and then using it, rather than working on something and then earning it.
Yeah.
There's a whole different, even vibe to that person is completely different.
Yeah, Lotta's saying that she feels like women that enter the fitness competitions, because it's taken so much to get to that point, that she sees those women and herself as powerful women. But when you look at a half-naked supermodel on a magazine, it's about their appearance and being judged on that, comparing beauty pageants to fitness things.
I guess it's about beauty.
Things that you can't change, but then fitness are things that you can change constantly.
Exactly.
And honing what you yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I was at first, like, if you know nothing about it, just go see a fitness show and go see a beauty pageant. And notice the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Notice the difference in the people competing.
Yeah.
How they're completely different people.
It's a different kind of pride as well, isn't it? It's a pride
Absolutely.
and accomplishment.
Yeah, and they're mentally stronger when you've had to
Not
go
shallow.
through a prep.
Discipline yourself.
Yeah.
And fight for what exactly you want.
Yeah.
But
And especially if you're doing it in an untraditional way, not eating meat and all
I don't
that.
know how you do the balance.
Even if you do it the most traditional way, there's going to be a lot of people, by the way, who's going to like, what the hell are you doing? A lot of people will question. Hopefully not too many in your like immediate, close circle, friends and family, but some people go like, they will think that it's like sexual, or they will think it's like weird. Why would you get up on stage in really tiny clothing? They will look at you kind of weird and go like,
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to. Yeah, that's what the other thing I wanted to know about. Do you think that people in this day and age can strive to be feminists and to protect women and empower them at the same time as women using their bodies in a powerful way? Do you think that both can happen in terms of fashion models, bikini competitions? Do you think our body is one of the most powerful things that we have?
Absolutely it is. Just look at censorship. Seriously. Like the one thing, and I've got kind of like a front row seat in this because my partner's a body paint artist.
Really?
So when something is censored, they recognise the power behind it.
Yeah.
So when we publish, I say we, because I kind of take ownership in his art as well, but when we publish an art piece and there's boobs, and they get censored on Facebook, first of all, that's annoys me, to the moon and back, but it just shows that they know that there's something inherently empowered or intelligent, or kind of, women have this power in their bodies, and that's why you can't show boobs or vaginas.
It's threatening.
It's very threatening, absolutely, because it's threatening the whole system of power that we have.
Well, it's an absolute power over men, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's their 100% their weakness.
And it goes back to, like, literally, it goes back to, like, biological sexual power. Like, women have been the gatekeepers of who gets to procreate and who doesn't.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
So they have a massive power over how this entire race is going to go forward. And that's very inconvenient for the patriarchy. So,
Yeah.
we can't have female nipples, but we can have male,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to overpower that power by trying to control
Exactly.
the body.
Yeah.
Or
It's just manifests in
Enforcing
different
itself.
ways in different countries. So you will see women wearing burqas, although the Islam doesn't require it. It's a man-made
It's a choice.
thing. It's a choice. And you will see art censorship in countries that will say that we're so liberal and we're really equal. We're not. So it just manifests in different ways in different countries. But if there was nothing threatening about it, they'd just let it be. So I think in a way, it's a good thing.
So you're content and happy with like female nudity, I guess, because it's just like, well, what is there to hide? Whereas you know that the opposite is the power that men fear. But you think promoting the female form is
It's the
feminist
best
thing
we
to
can
do.
It's the most feminist thing we can do as well.
I agree with that.
Like
I agree with
our society would benefit so much if we went back to a matriarchy. And matriarchy, by the way, doesn't mean women's rule over men. It means sexual equality. That's it. Whereas patriarchy means always.
One above the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Yeah.
So that's the difference between men and women, I suppose. But yeah.
You know, Emma Watson. You know how much she does as a feminist in like the United Nations and stuff. She's really on top of it.
Yeah.
And when
I
she was
saw her speech.
promoting Beauty and the Beast, she posed for Elle magazine, and she had her boobs out, but I think something was obviously covering her nipple. And this female journalist basically attacked her in the media and said, "So much for being a feminist when you're posing like that in a magazine," and that annoyed me. For a woman to say that to a woman,
Yeah, in this day and age.
when someone
Well, it's clear
strives for
when someone
equality.
says like that, it just, to me, that all that is, it says I'm insecure.
Yeah, it's her own discomfort, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like to flirt with the idea that I'm challenging the power, but I really don't.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
Because if you were a true feminist, if you wanted to challenge the male dominance over females, you'd be absolutely fine with that. You'd be embracing it so
Yeah.
much.
But then again, there's the thing of, you know, like page 3 models in the Sun and that sort of thing, and that's now, well, was it removed and then brought back?
I don't know.
But there was a fight for that to be removed, but in exactly the same themes as what we're talking about. What do you think of that? Because I guess that's the same kind of thing as Sports Illustrated's swim edition, because it's women are doing that knowing that it's a man that's going to open that page and want to look at that.
Yeah.
What do you think of that side of things? Because page 3 is much more provocative on purpose.
Absolutely, but it's actually funny that you said that the women know that a man is going to look at it. What if it's a woman
Yeah.
looking? Does it change? So is it about power or is it about looking?
So then it's just kind of like, well, whoever's going to look, I want you to see.
Exactly. So is it, it's just like...
And it's her choice as well. It's that woman's choice. No one's forced her to be there.
What I mean by that is people get confused sometimes with concepts of power and sexuality.
Right.
Again, I have kind of a front row seat for that because I'm bisexual.
Oh, okay.
So it's sometimes you just find that people go, oh, but it's a man looking at a woman. And
Yeah,
then
it's a weird
like,
assumption that I made. Isn't it?
Well, those magazines, I think.
but it's also
are
like,
tailored towards-
okay, so was it about the fact that the man looked at the woman in a lustful kind of way, or is it the power thing? Because if it's the power thing, then
Who's stronger in
surely
that situation?
they're going to be all right with a bisexual or a lesbian woman looking at the woman going, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So is it about wanting, or is it the power, the power balance? So it's just kind of, sometimes people get busted with their like
Normative assumptions.
yeah, absolutely. And also like it's just weird, like the power and sexuality getting confused, and then everyone knowing that it's a grown person who chose to
Yeah.
be in that magazine.
Yeah.
And actually, that's the reaction that she's looking for as
And
well.
yeah, exactly. And people are so quick to defend that woman, but is it her that actually said, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be